welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I make videos twice a week, so on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for your continued love and support of my channel, and I'm really hoping you're enjoying my content. So today's video is going to be a testing video, like a testing beauty product video on these set of free beauty blender sponges by Poundland. So Makeup Gallery, is it Beauty Spot, it's called Makeup Gallery Beauty Spot. Free cosmetic sponges, basically a knockoff of the beauty blender, a smaller beauty blender and a mini beauty blender. It's hard to say that like loads of times, but basically a beauty blender set, a knockoff of it. So it comes in pretty plain packaging, so it just says like what it is, like the free cosmetic sponges, Makeup Gallery and Beauty Spot, and just that plastic kind of sleeve. Back has the barcode and stuff like that. And you just open it up from the bottom, and you get free sponges, so basically like that. This one's like the bigger beauty blender, so it's basically meant to be for like foundation and stuff like that. You can use it for concealer, contour and all that. I typically use a beauty blender or makeup sponge at this size, so it's an average size for a beauty blender basically. I have the Eco-Tools green sponge, like the complexion sponge. I reviewed that too, but Suki, I really too well. Edit. She got in my bag when I was at Connor's house. Connor's dog, by the way. She got into my bag when I was like staying over, and it was sitting like a makeup bag on top of his bed. That wee madam went in, took my Eco-Tools beauty sponge out of that bag, brought it down to the floor and took a big chunk out of it. Girl, that sponge was amazing, and Suki just ate it. So yeah, I was raging, but she's lucky she's cute. But it's dogs enough, but I may just not leave things around. But yeah, on these sponges, hopefully they were just as good. That's the regular one, just for like foundation and stuff. You can use it for concealer and contour and stuff like that. Here is the medium one. Well, it's basically small compared to like bigger sponges I've seen in the past, but it's a medium one in this kit. This can be used for like cream bronzer, cream contour, cream highlight, or like blush or something like that. Cream blush, like cream face products, like cheek products should I say. So this one is like a darker pink, that one's like a lighter pink. It's nice, and they actually feel really soft, like soft, so hopefully they'll be good for like doing your makeup with. And then this wee toady one, it's so cute. It's like a corally pink. It's so tiny, look at it. It's really tiny. That's good for like concealer, like underneath your eyes, like really getting in the lens corners. But yeah, I'm going to be using them all for my face. I'm going to use like the big one for foundation, the wee medium one for like cream bronzer, and then this wee toady one for concealer. So I'm going to wet them all and come back. So I've wet the sponges. This one actually expanded loads. That's just like the bigger one, and it actually looks massive now. I wet it with water and just took away the excess water with a towel. That's like the medium one. It expanded a good bit too, so it's nice and wet for applying makeup. The small one didn't expand. Well, it did, to be honest, to be fair for the size of it, but they all expanded quite well and they feel really soft, so we'll see how they go. Hopefully, I'm really hoping they're good, but if they're not, they're £1, so it's not too much of a loss. But yeah, just put my hair away. It's damp, I'm just waiting for it to dry. I'm going to dry it with the hair dryer, like once to do makeup. Probably be dry by that point anyway. I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way multi-complexion or multi-sculpting concealer in the shade Latte. I use it as a foundation, so I'm going to apply this all over my face and blend it out with a big sponge. So yeah, my hair's getting in the way, but yeah, I'm just going to dot it all over my face. And this is actually a really good kind of foundation, and I'm reviewing that one too. It's one of my holy grails. Just going to take that side of the sponge, like the big round part. I prefer that for just blending it in with foundations. Some people use like sponges to blend in their primer, but I just use my fingers because I just can't be bothered to dampen sponge for primer. And I just prefer to use my fingers for primer, but you can use a sponge for primer if you want to, or if you never rush, whatever you think works for you. It seems to be blended in the foundation decent enough, but sheer like the coverage a bit, but I can always build up. The sponge feels actually kind of dry on your skin, which can be a turn off for some people, but it isn't too bad. It's not too hard on the skin, it's actually kind of soft, and it seems to be doing okay to blend. So I'm just gonna blend around the hairline with my fingers. Roots need doing, well, they're due to be done, and yeah. This foundation may look quite dark, but because I'm wearing gradual, it'll develop more throughout the night. But yeah, I'm going to put some lighter concealer on just to balance it out. It looks kind of dark, but trust me, it'll work. I'm going to add a bit more of this foundation just to kind of build up the coverage and see how the sponge works with building coverage. So dot it everywhere to try and actually, because I'm going to blend it right down just to really blend everything in together. I didn't want to put tan on today because I'm going out on Friday night. It's Wednesday now. I didn't want to like do a layer of tan day and have to like scrub it off and just have to go for it again. I'm going to scrub it. I've worn that sun-kissed tan, but it's kind of really worn off because I scrubbed it today. And put some gradual, which is still developing, but I want to do a tan tomorrow, so I'm going to scrub it again tomorrow. Yeah, I know, sounds pointless after putting some gradual and scrub it again, but I want my skin to be extra smooth for like doing a tan tomorrow for Friday. I might even put another layer of tan on for Friday because it might be quite dark. And then take So that sponge is actually good for blending this foundation. It's blended in quite smoothly and just quite like seamless. I do prefer the Eco Tool over this, not gonna lie, but it actually blends in decently for like £1. Well, probably not even £1 because you get free for £1, but the blends are actually quite good. I really bugbear that it's a little bit dry and also it shears out the coverage too much for me, but I'll see how it goes. But yeah, I was able to build the coverage up decently with the second layer, so it's fine. But I'm going to do my concealer with the smaller one and do my cream bronzer with the medium one. But I'm going to grab concealer and then get back to you. I'm back. I've got my concealer. So this is, obviously I use it all the time. It's the Revolution Heartbreaker concealer in the shade Custard. It's amazing. It's a nice kind of natural medium coverage concealer. I don't know why I just cut my tongue there, but with a lovely heart-shaped wand. I've got to review this too. I'm basically using like most of my tried and true products, but yeah, just seeing how this sponge fares, or these sponges fares against my tried and true. just to really compare and see how like a typical sponge would go for that. If that makes sense, like to see how my typical products or like how that compares to my typical beauty blender, if it makes sense. I do love the Real Techniques beauty blender, like their Miracle Complexion sponge. I like the Eco Tool, as I said before. I love that one. It's one of my favourite ones. And I also like love the actual beauty blender, but I haven't had it in 3 years, and I think the Real Techniques one, the Eco Tool, is just as good. I also like the Bee sponge, like the Superdrug Bee sponge is quite good. But definitely, and So Sue as well. So Sue sponge is actually quite good too. I'm just going to put some, just kind of like the foundation. I'm going to blend the centre of my face just with, well, I'll do like the centre with this too, just to kind of make it look seamless. I like to really get right. So I'll blend that in quite well. Just made the lighter and darker, lighter concealer and the darker foundation kind of mix in well. Now it's time to do the wee small dotty for the inner corners, like the under eye concealer. So I'm going to take obviously the really pointy side, like the side of it, just to kind of do. Because it is a smaller concealer, it's actually taken a bit longer to blend it out. And I definitely recommend rinsing these loads, because I feel there's some chemicals in them, like inside the sponges, just to kind of preserve them. And you have to really rinse them loads. And, yeah. Go take the wee ball in just to blend through, and then bigger one just to kind of blend in. I'm heavy handed, blend in the two colours. Definitely recommend rinsing them in warm water, because we can actually smell the chemicals of them. They're not too bad, but I rinsed them fairly enough. But I think I should have rinsed them in warm water. But definitely don't just wet them and go. Rinse them when you get them, just to get rid of that chemical-y smell. But yeah, I blended it in quite well. So I'm going to set my under eyes to conceal. Set my under eyes with a bit of powder, and my brush is really clean, so I'm going to wash them the night after I come home. I'm going to actually just set my eyelids with what's left over on this setting brush. Just to prevent creasing, because what I'm going to do, I might use the glow more, or I might just use the glossary on top, but should I use glossary? I think I might do a bit of glossary on top, just to give me a bit of a liquid highlight. So it's a tiny amount, like Lattes, and might use it to the end of it, like the ball end, just dab it on, and then just kind of blend it in. Whisking. Just taking the excess under my nose and the Cupid's bow. That actually gives you a nice highlight. Oh my goodness! I haven't used this sweet tiny sponge before. I use like the regular size beauty blenders, but I've never actually used like a tiny one. Excuse me if I've been calling these beauty blenders, but That's what I've been calling them anyway, but they're not technically the beauty blender make, but I call them beauty blenders because basically it's a similar thing. But yeah, oh my goodness, like that highlight, I'm doing that more often, taking a bit of that liquid illuminator on the side of that sponge, like the wee ball end, and just kind of just dabbing it on. Oh my goodness, it actually highlights your I love it. Sold, sold, sold. Woo! Okay, I'm getting on hyper. But yeah, I'm going to set the center of my face with this banana powder and my disgusting blank canvas setting brush. I'm just taking a tiny one because I am just setting just the center of my face. And I may lose some of that glow on my cheekbone, but I'm going to add some powder highlight so it wouldn't matter too much. I know it went over my eyelids, but hey ho. This brush is amazing just for setting your face. I am just taking a bit on the mustache. Gets right in there, and just right in the center. I'm going to set the rest of my face once I've done no cream bronzer and stuff like that, but that powder's brilliant. It actually adds some kind of warmth to your skin, like, well, brightens it, not warmth, brightens it. Just brightens your whole skin up really nicely, and it sets your makeup. It doesn't make it look too dry, which is lovely. It lets some of the glow shine through, which I love. I find some loose powders, like especially the translucent mattifying ones, they just kind of, any kind of glow goes. But this one lets some of it shine through. Obviously it mattifies to an extent, but not too much where it looks like a dry, cakey, matte face. So yeah, as you can see, as you can see, I still got my glow around my face. So, time for cream bronzer. I'm going to use this Primark Bronze Whip. That's the right way around, yeah. Bronze Whip cream bronzer. It comes in one shade, which I should have mentioned in my kind of first impression on it. But I'm kind of disappointed it comes in one shade because it's not going to suit everyone. But hey ho, onto the applying this to my face. It's basically a dupe of the Chanel Soleil Candy Chanel. And it's the same colour, exact same. I've had the Chanel one before years ago. I couldn't be arsed bringing my wee cream bronzer double-ended brush, but I'm going to use this medium sized, but should I just dip it into the bronzer? I don't know. I might just add with my finger around my cheeks. This could be wrong, but hopefully not. Just round here, just a tiny bit, and I'm just gonna, not too much. I'm not really contouring with this, I'm just really bronzing, so I'm gonna just spread that out first before it sets. So I'm taking the, should I take that side of it, or no? Because I'm just bronzing, I'm going to take this side. So, okay. That blends out actually nice, as you can see. Just nice and seamless. Taking the same amount. Finger. And blend it out. That's really nice. I might should have actually taken the rest down the jawline to blend that. My hair and in the face. Should be brave and take some on this end. This could go wrong, it could go right. Don't know. I might just take a tiny bit like that onto the sponge. Just dab it. And then just kind of blend. And then just take a bit to roll it down. See neck. I don't know why I'm getting on like that. Yeah. Obviously I'm going to put some powder, bronzer, contour over top of this, but I just want a nice bit of cream bronzer. I wonder if it can catch in camera, hopefully it doesn't. It's actually really big with her red. It's actually blended in really, really well. It's like a nice kind of natural bronze. Just, it's lovely. And that actually blends it in better than that brush, but I actually like it. Like a beauty blender with cream bronzer, cream contour, I think it's a dream team. That's really good for blending in cream bronzer. I don't have a cream blush, but I presume it'll be just as good for like cream blush because it's a good size just to kind of go and do that. But yeah, I actually love the way it's set. I actually love the way everything's blended in really, really nicely. Obviously I'm going to set my face. Them sponges are actually good for the price of it. Now I'm going to see how it is with the whole makeup done and see and tell you my opinion. See how it's like telling you my opinion and get back to you. I'm just going to set my face. I'll actually set my face on camera. Just using this monkey brush. Just using the same banana powder. Just quickly setting. Around with these. Good girls, my brush is really clean. So as I can tell, or as you can tell, the foundation, the concealer, the cream bronzer and the primer and all the powder just sits really well nicely together. The powder has mattified a bit, but it still gives me a nice glow, and you still see the glow coming through with the cream highlight. It looks nice, it really, really does. And it'll look even better once I set it down, once the whole makeup's done with this primer infused. But yeah, I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, get back to you with my final opinion on the sponges, but so far so good. They're really good for like an affordable sponge. So makeup is completed, and I'm just going to show you tell you my final opinions on the Poundland makeup sponge trio. So I'll start with the big original one, the identical dupe with the beauty blender. So I found this actually brilliant for applying my foundation. It just blended it really, really well. It's just as good as any kind of drugstore like sponge. It's similar to the Real Techniques one. I need to play about with it more, but I definitely will say it's really, really good. I actually find it better than the Beige sponge, to be honest, or about the same, maybe better. But it's really, really nice for blending that foundation. It just blended it in so well. It isn't as good as the Eco Tools one, but it is really, really good for the price especially. But as I said before, I need to play about with it and kind of tell you my final opinion over using it for a period of time, but for the price, so far it's amazing. The medium one, this is a treat to apply cream bronzer. So I use the Primark Bronze Whip on the cheekbones and like forehead and underneath the jawline. This blended in seconds, literally blended in so beautifully, much better than like a buffing brush. It really blends in nice and beautiful. Doesn't make it sit on top of the skin, it actually gets it sitting beautifully and look natural on the skin, which is amazing. This is actually really good. I suppose it would be good for like cream blush because the size of it's good and it'd be nice just to kind of apply as cream blush, but definitely it works a treat. And I suppose for like concealer too, all I'm going to use is concealer sponges, but because it does have that wee like narrow end, it'll be good for like getting in, and I think it might be even quicker than this one for concealer, to be honest. But yeah, definitely I'm going to have a go with it as well and play about. So the final wee doughy sponge, it's really good for like getting right in there, just blend in the concealer, but it takes a slight bit more time to blend it in, which isn't too bad. But I think if you're in a rush, grab the big one and just do your whole face of it. But this one's really good for concealer and just getting the whole area blended out. It blends out just as well as like the big sponge. But this side for cream highlight, liquid highlight, on point. Amazeballs, your liquid highlighter is just gonna just stand out and sit in your skin so nicely. It just blends in like that, like it's so lovely the way it blends in your like makeup, definitely. So would I recommend these trio sponges? Yes, they are by far the best like proper like budget, like £1 or £2 sponges I've tried. I've tried different ones that were really hard and hard to blend, but these are soft. These are like a dream. I would say this one's a bit the softest one, the medium one, but these are a dream to apply your makeup with. Literal a dream. I just love them. I definitely will use them more as well and just see how I fare with them, but so far yes, they are the best kind of budget sponges, and you get free for £1. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want for like makeup sponges if you're just in a pinch and you want a sponge and you're like on a low budget? Yeah, these are your girls, definitely. So go down to Poundland and get some of these sponges because they are fine. Yeah, I just love them. I actually just love them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, which I do, I ramble loads. And I'll see you again for the next one. Stay gorgeous. Bye.
How far can we get if we say